Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel 3 Dias. Guys, this is the part 5 of our video tutorial series that we are making, and I hope that you guys are enjoying this video series so far because I had tried to model this paper cutter knife in our tutorial series inside Fusion 360, and I had explained everything about all the components and whatever the videos we had made till now. So in today's video we are going to model this blade clip. Here you can see this black part. This is what we are going to model today. So if you had not watched my other parts of our series, so I will highly recommend you to go and check it out. You will able to find the link below in the video. When you are finished with the other parts, then you can come to this part and start modeling this blade clip, because this is the last component of our assembly. Here you can see this is how it looks. So without wasting much time, we'll start modeling. So let's start. Okay, so here you can see we are into Fusion 360 now. So in our last 4 videos we had modeled 3 of the components: this base component, then the back cap component, and the blade component. Here you can see these are all the 3 components that we had modeled in our last videos. So right now we are going to start modeling the blade clip. So for that, what we have to do is again the same process. We have to start creating a new component from here. So I will activate the new component and I will give it a name as a blade clip, and we'll press OK. So here you can see the new component has been created here, and the rest of the component are now looking like a wireframe. So we'll able to see our active component more visible, more clearly. So if I expand it from here, by default there is a folder of the origin where you will able to find the new origin planes and axis and origins for our new components. So for now I will do, I will just turn off our other components for the better view. Now I will go to my home view to start modeling. I will activate my create a sketch tool from here. Then I will select this front plane as a sketch plane. Here you can see the sketch plane is active now. Also our sketch tools are active now. So what I can do, I can start creating a sketch from a rectangle sketch. So this time I'm going to use this center rectangle tool. So I will activate the tool and will select the origin and will drag it like this. So here you can see. So now our task is to provide the dimensions. So I will start providing the dimensions. So for this rectangle we provide the dimension as 34.20 and 2.1. So I will just write 34.20 is the width of the rectangle and the height is just 2.1. Here you can see. So this is how you can create sketches very quickly. So the next task is to create one more rectangle. So this time I'm going to use the 2-point rectangle from here. So I will activate the 2-point rectangle. I will select the corner of this rectangle and I will make a rectangle like this. So here you can see I want to keep the width as 4 millimeters, and this one I want to keep it as a 1.8 millimeters. Here you can see. And our next task is to create one more rectangle. So there will be a multiple rectangle. So this is what we are trying to create. So again we'll activate our 2-point rectangle tool and I will drag it like this, and then I will provide the dimensions. So this one is I believe 1 millimeter, and this is 22.6 millimeter. So these are all the dimensions. I had figured it out while I had finished this paper cutter knife model. So I had already told you that whenever I am making these tutorials, first I complete these models and then I try to uh, make these tutorials to make things very easier for you, easier to understandable. So that's why it takes lots of effort. So I will request you to please subscribe to my channel, because in creating such kind of contents it takes lots of efforts. So now we are going to create one more rectangle. So there I already told you there will be multiple rectangles. So this is what we are trying to create. So for now this rectangle is around uh, 2 millimeter distance away from our edge. So I will provide the dimension of 2 millimeters. Here you can see, and then the height we want to make for this rectangle is 3 millimeters. So I will specify the height as well. So this height is 3 millimeter. So here you can see, and after this I will create few more lines like this. So this time I will randomly use my line tool and will start creating the lines like this. So here you can see this is the line, and then I will create a line like this. So we are just randomly creating the lines to get the shape of our blade clip, and once we are done with that, then I can give it a 3D shape. So I want this point and this point on the same label, so I will select both the points and will apply the horizontal vertical constraint. So both of them are same labels. Here you can see, if I adjust one point, the second automatically get adjusted. And now I will create an arc tool from here. I will use the 3-point arc tool. I will select the ends of the arc, then the direction of the arc, like this. Here you can see, it was very easy. Now what I will do, I will provide few more dimensions, like this dimension, these heights, and the radius of the arc. So the height of this dimension right now is 10.4 millimeters, so I will dimension this one as 10.4. Here you can see, and then I will provide the height of this one as 2.2. Then this height is 2.2. Here you can see, and then the radius of our arc, it is very important to provide the radius, because so I will just give it a radius of 23 millimeters. So here you can see, here it is going, so I will just drag it towards downward, because I don't want to keep the sketch unorganized. So I will just drag it towards downward, and this time what I'm going to do is I will specify the dimension from this point to this point. It is just 1 millimeter. So here you can see, and the next thing that is left is this length, this length that is we have to provide. So this one is 13.8, so I will write 13.8 here. And here you can see our most of the things are now constrained. If I expand my sketch panel, here this icon shows that I had provided all the necessary dimension to this sketch to make it constrained. So the next thing that we have to create two more rectangles on the corners, on these two corners, and these two will be completely similar rectangles. So we'll apply the equal constraint, then we'll define the dimensions. Here you can see I'm just applying the equal constraint on the similar edges, then I will define the dimension of this rectangle. So the dimension of this rectangle is 2.1 and 3.2. So I will define that. This one I want to keep 2.1, and then the height we want to keep 3.2. So here you can see, this is how we had finished our sketch, and it's completely constrained and defined. So what I can do, I can just click on the finish the sketch for now, and we'll move on to using our other tools. So now we will use our extrude tool to extrude the things. So whatever the things we are extruding, we'll make sure that we are extruding in symmetric way. So I will activate my extrude tool from here, then I will select the profiles that I want to extrude, and I will provide the extrude distance. So this time I want to keep it as symmetric, and here the distance I want to keep it as half of 9.2. So I will just press 9.2 divided by 2 to make it 9.2 millimeter in width. So if I select the dimensions is here you can see the preview, it is giving me that it's 9.2. So we are correct. Now we'll again turn on our sketch to extrude the other profiles. So in this way we can start extruding the profiles. So we had missed one thing, we also have to extrude this portion also with the same width. So for that, what we can do, we can just make a right click on this tool here, and we'll click on the edit feature from here, and then I will add this profile in that, and we'll press OK. So this way I can also edit my tools or edit my features at any point if I want. Then I have to extrude the other profiles, like this ones we want to keep 14 millimeters. So I will select all the profiles that I want to keep 14 millimeters. So also I will use symmetric tool, and in the distance I want 14. So since it is symmetric, so I have to provide the half of the distance. So that's why I'm writing 14 divided by 2, and we'll press OK. So here you can see, this is the shape also we got, and the last thing left is that we have to extrude the last portion, that is the last sketch. And again we'll activate our extrude tool, we'll select the profiles that we want to extrude, and these profiles we want to make 7.2 and also symmetric. So I will activate the symmetric, and then 7.2 width divided by 2 since it is symmetric, and we'll press OK. So here you can see, this is what the profile we got. And the next thing is that we have to apply a few cuts on the top for the grip of our finger. So for that I will turn off this turn off this sketch for now, and I will go on to my body, and then again I will activate my create a sketch tool. Then I will select the plane. Since I am not able to select the plane, what I can do, I can turn off the body, then I will able to select the plane, and then again I can turn on the body. So here you can see, now I will start creating our profile. So before that I will project the curve of this profile first. So I will use my project tool and will select the curve and will press OK. And then I will use my circle tool and I will start creating circles. So here you can see, this is how we can create circles to project on our tool. So this circle I want to keep it just 0.7 millimeters, so I will provide the dimension of 0.7 millimeter. And what I will do, I will just click on the finish sketch for now, and I will drag this cursor. I will extrude cut this circle on the profile like this. Instead of one side, I want to make it symmetric, so it will make a through cut, and I will make sure that it is cutting up to this face. So here you can see it is making a through cut now. And what I can do now, I can select the uh, tool from here, the feature from here, then I will able to activate my pattern tool, this pattern on path tool. So I will select the pattern on path tool, then I will select this, activate this path, and I will select the path on which I want to pattern, and then I can drag it like this to see the preview. In the quantity, we can change it to 10 or something like that, and we can drag it like this to see the preview. Here you can see if the quantity is not enough, I can increase it further, and I will able to drag it like this. Here you can see. So I think it is looking good now, so I will drag it little towards backward, and here we are. I'm able to press OK from here, and we'll able to get the shape. So the things are almost done now, and the last thing left is that we have to make a cut over here to reduce the material wastage. So for that, what we can do, we can again go back to our this sketch and make a right click and click on the edit sketch. So okay, now we have to create slot on this profile. So what I can do, I can just go on to the front view, and I will go on here from slot, and I will activate my 3-point arc slot tool. Then I will click on 2 points, and then I will drag it like this, and will start creating the slot. And I have to make sure that this is and this must be parallel, so I'll apply the, so, or what I can do, we can apply the equal constant between these two. So here you can see. And now what I can do, what I can define this the shape of this the radius, and I can define it by 0.7 millimeter or something like that, or maybe 0.1 millimeter, and I can drag it a little bit towards downward. I want to keep it a little bit towards inward from the edges. So what I can do, I can define the radius of this one, or what I can do, I can define the position of this one from the corners. So I want to keep it as 2.5 from this direction and 2.5 from this direction as well. So I can just click on the finish sketch. Our sketch is completed. Now I will turn on my sketch. I will activate my extrude tool. I will select the profile by turning off the body, and again turning it back on. Instead of extruding it from a profile plane, I will change that to offset here. So I will provide the offset distance. So we'll go on to the left to see the preview of the offset. I will provide a 3 mm of offset. So it is starting somewhere from here. Then I will apply 2 mm of cut. So instead of 3 mm, what I can do, I can make 2 mm also, and this is how it works. And if I press OK, here you can see the cut has been made. Here you can see the cut has been made. So what I will do, I will just select that cut, and I will go on to here, and then I will select the mirror tool. Then I will select the mirror plane as a center plane. So I will turn off the body, then select this plane as a mirror plane, and again I will turn on my body to see the preview. So the cut has been mirrored on the other side as well. So this is how we had created this shape. So I will just turn off the sketch for now, and the last thing that we had left is we have to apply uh, radius fillets on all the sharp corners and edges. So for that, we will start doing before starting fillets on the other edges, first thing that we have to do is we have to apply fillets on these this thing. So I will activate my fillet tool. I will start selecting all the profile. So here you can see I had selected all the edges. Now I will apply a fillet of 0.2 millimeter, and we'll see if it works. So it works, but it is higher, so I will have to decrease it by 0.1 millimeter, I think. So 0.1 is also the lesser, so I think the 0.15 must work. So I will just apply 0.15. It's not working, so I will try to increase it gradually to see if anything works. So here you can see I am increasing it gradually. Yeah, so 0.18 is working, so I will press OK. So here you can see this is what the grips we got, and it looks very nice for now. And we'll apply the fillets on the other edges. For that, what I have to do is I have to select all the edges randomly. So I will start selecting all the edges carefully. I don't have to miss any of the edges. So there will be few edges that I'm not going to select. So this you will able to see when I am done with selecting all the edges. So here you can see I had selected all the edges, just I had not selected these two edges, this one and this one. So on these edges we are going to apply a different fillet and fillets, but on these edges we are going to apply a fillets of zero point 0.2. I think zero point 0.2 will be enough. So or we can try to increase it a little bit by 0.4 mm. If it's not working, we can just use 0.25. Yeah, 0.25 is working, so I will just press OK. So here you can see we had applied fillets on all the sharp edges, so the only two edges that left are this and this. So for that we are going to select the edges for now and we'll drag it and we'll give it a fillet, different kind of fillet. So here the trick is it's not working the fillet here, so what we have to do is again we have to apply the fillet tool and just unselect this tangent chain, then select the faces that we want to apply the fillet and then try to give it a fillet. And if it is still not working, what we have to do is we have to delete few of the fillets. And what I can do, I can just select the faces that I want to delete and I will just select the faces, so this will help me in deleting the fillets. So here you can see I had deleted those edges, and now what I can do, I can again activate my fillet and will select the edges and will try to give it a fillet. So this time it is working, so I just want to keep it as a fillet of 1 millimeter and will press OK. So here you can see this is what we got after finishing everything. So I think it looks good now, so there is no need to do anything. There are these sharp edges that after deleting the faces we can apply the fillets on this as well, of zero point 0.2 millimeter like this, to make it look like it was earlier. So here you can see this is how we got this part. So this was a very simple part that we had created, and the only thing left is that we have to create one more circle here that will fit inside the blade hole. uh, one more extruded portion here. So for that we can activate and create a sketch tool, then we'll select this plane as a sketch plane, and here you can see the plane is active, also our sketch tools are active. So this time we are going to extrude this circle by 2 millimeters. So first we'll create a circle and we'll give it a radius, and the radius is 4 millimeter. 4 millimeter, I think 4 millimeter will fit into the blade, or we can increase it a little bit by 4.4 millimeter, and I will make sure that it's at the center. So I will create a line from the center point and I will convert that line to construction line here you can see, and I will drag this circle to on our line. Here you can see this is how we can do. Then I can dimension this circle from the edge. I will make sure that this must be 5 millimeter and I will press OK. So here you can see the circle has been created, the profile has been created. Now we can extrude that by a distance of 2 millimeter and we are done. So we just have to apply a small fillet on the base of 0.2 millimeter and we'll press OK. And we'll also apply fillet on this top edges. So we'll click on the add section here, then we'll select one more as is from here and we'll apply same fillet of 0.2 millimeter on the top as well. So here you can see we are now finished with the blade clip component. So I think we had finished all the 4 components of our assembly. If I turn on all the assembly and if I activate the top label here, you can see this is how our components are. So nothing is organized now, we can just simply drag and keep it anywhere on the space, anything, since we had not applied any kind of joints between the components, that's why it's all are floating around the space. So here you can see these are all the 4 components that we had created. So now we are going to apply the joints between the components. So before starting joining components, since we had moved our components around this space, here you can see, so first we have to click on this capture position component. So wherever we had moved our component, it will be get captured in that position. And then what we can do, we can simply go to our base component, we'll make a right click and we have to ground this component, and grounding means it will be fixed on the position. So now if I want to drag this component around the space, it's not possible because it is fixed now. So this is the basic process of the assembly. So whenever you are starting assembly or joining the components, one of you have to fix or ground one of your component. So this way you can start joining components. And so first we are going to try this back up here with this base feature. So for that we'll activate our joint tools from here. Here you can see this is our joint tool, and then it is asking me to select the component one. So I want to position this component with respect to the with respect to the circle here. So I will just or what I can do, I can just select the edge from here, or what I can do, I can select this face. So I will just select this face center over here. Here you can see whenever I am taking the cursor on the point, it is automatically snapping the points. So I will just select this point as a selection point. So I had just activated. Then I have to select the other point on the other part. So for this part I want to make I want to select this point here. So here you can see it is coming like this. So by default it is giving me a here you can see, since the part I had selected, now I have since also the position is right, so I have to go to the motion here, and here you can see right now by default it is giving me a rigid kind of joint, but we don't want the rigid joint, we want it to be openable. So I will click on the slider joint. So here you can see, since we had not provided the joint limits, so it will able to, if I click on the animate here, it will able to move inside the body. So we have to provide the joint limits also. So for now I will just press OK. So here you can see the one more joint folder has been created, and inside that joint folder here is this our slider one joint. So I can just rename this one, and I can write it with a base to cap. So this way we'll able to understand the joints by renaming it. So this is for the base to cap, and now we'll start providing the limits. So I will just make a right click on this one and click on the edit joint limits, and here you can see we got the joint limits. So I will click on the maximum. So maximum will be definitely 0, and then I will click on the minimum. So minimum I want to give it maybe 10 will work, and try to animate the things, and here you can see. So this is how it is animating. So I think it is correct now, and we'll press OK. So if I will drag it like this, I'm able to drag it, but up to the limit only I am able to drag it. So here you can see this is how we had joined our first two components. So the next component is our blade. So before assembling this blade, first I want to uh, make a joint between this blade clip and the base component. Okay, so we'll use the same process. We'll activate our joint tool, and this time we are going to select the bottom of this face. So I will select this point, and for our base feature we'll select the face from here. So I can just select the midpoint to position it in the right position. So here you can see it is somewhere there. So instead of motion, for now I can just use the slider kind of motion, but if I animate it here, here you can see the axis of sliding is wrong. So I can stop it and change the axis, and we'll see which one will works for us. So Y is not working, so I will try out X. So yeah, X is working, so we'll keep it like that, and we'll go on to the positions. We'll go on to the front view, and from here what's the trick is we'll have to change our visual style to wireframe with hidden edges to see its position. So you can see right now it is going below the body, so we have to move it little bit towards upward to make it in the right position. So here you can see I am moving it towards upward to the right position. So I will make it something somewhere here. So I have to make it 0.2 millimeter towards upward, and then what I have to do is I have to go to the top view, and again I have to change my visual style to shaded with visual edges only. Then I will drag it towards backward, and I will position it to the right position. So I have to make sure that these slots are fitting inside the hole. So this way I have to position that. So I will position it, since if I keep it on this slot, here you can see this is now overlapping, or it's touching our back cap, so it's not good. So I have to move it little bit forward like this. Here you can see. So I think the 46 millimeter will work, so I will just keep 46 and will press OK. So here you can see now we have to provide the joint limits, since we are able to slide this up to any limit. So we have to provide the joints limit. So I will just click on the revert here, and then I will click on the second slider, and I will rename it with clip to base, and then I will make a right click, and I will click on the edit joint limits, and then I will select the maximum as 0 and the minimum at 0, and maximum we want to keep so here you can see 58.5 is working fine now. If I animate the joints, we had few problems here. So what I can do, in the maximum we can keep it 0, and in the minimum we can write minus 58.5. So here you can see this is how it is moving between the joint limits, and I will press OK. So the joint limit between these two components has already been applied. So now the last component is our this blade. So we just have to activate the same joint tool, then we'll select the center of our blade. So at this time I'm going to select the top face center of our blade hole, and then I will select the similar way we'll select the top face center of our component here. Then inside the motion we want to keep it as a rigid, and in position what we have to do is we have to flip the blade, or what I can do, I can just rotate it by 180 degree. So I can just rotate it by 180 degree like this. So here you can see it is in right position now. So we have to make few adjustment here. We are going to the left view. Here you can see it is right now, it is not in front of hole, so we can drag it towards downward to bring it in the right position. So I can just provide the dimensions, correct dimension, and I will press OK. So here you can see the blade has also been joined here with the other components. So I can just rename this component, this joint type. So this joint type is blade to clip, and we'll press enter. So here you can see we had applied all the three joint limits here. If I drag here, you can see this is how our component is working. So I think we had finished modeling all the four components and assembling all the four things. So in we are done with this part series for today. Now in the next tutorial I will show you how we can apply materials, different kind of materials to look it more realistic. Also will show you how we can apply logo on these faces here, and few instructions here. So these are the things that we are going to try out in our last videos part of this video tutorial series. So guys, thank you so much for watching. So I'm very thankful that you had watched this video tutorial series and supported me so much well. So till now, if you're not subscribed to my channel, I will strongly recommend you to go and subscribe to my channel, because I will keep creating contents like this. So thank you guys, thanks for watching.